Dan's home today, so we might get interrupted. Hard to say. I did it. Okay, so here's what happened here. This tree over here is for sale. This is for sale. These little train cars are for sale. And the rest either isn't actually stuff for Christmas, or it was stuff I couldn't let go of. Like when I was going through my Christmas stuff and I saw this cloth, I was like, it doesn't take up a lot of room. And it's so beautiful, and it's such a quick hit of color. I can't get rid of it. And the same thing when these 7 little colored trees, I just couldn't dump. I'd only just gotten them. I've only had them up once, ever. I'm like, oh, I can't ditch them. And then I was looking at the light strands, and I thought, I don't have to sell them all. So I kept these two little mini light strands that they were very new, and I was very taken with them. And, you got to have a set of random twinklers, right? So then the Mardi Gras beads and these little garland here, they were all actually, and this feather boa, were actually decorating my dressing room mirror. And so I pulled them off there. And then there's all these little boxes. Well, these are the hand-painted boxes nobody would buy. I was trying to sell them for $30, even though they're worth closer to $100 if you take my time and materials into account. And so I just took them down off the shelf and stuck them up here with the Mardi Gras beads. And this was hanging from the window in the kitchen, and these guys were up on the shelf. And this guy here, oh, he's so cute. He was up on a shelf too. These are things that are out all the time. Let's see. Yeah, so isn't he cute? And he runs along the ground. If you get him going fast enough, his little propeller actually sticks all the way out. Isn't that adorable? Look at that. He's one of those irresistible things. He's not an actual vintage. He's a remake of a vintage. Basically, it's a toy company that's still making exactly the same toys they ever made, with the same dies in the same factory. So I ordered him years ago, and he's been up on a shelf. So I wound up with all of this decoration. Oh, and I forgot to turn this on. Let's turn it on. This has music, but you also have the option of not having music, which is better. The music is kind of fun, but it wears thin real quick. So, having a bit of a stressful day. I tried to irrigate, and it failed again, and I'm a little stressed because I don't know why it's failing. But that's not something to talk about on the YouTube, especially since I have no answers. And now I've exhausted my conversation about, oh yeah, well, and then there's poor little Timmy this morning. I woke up and he's got a little heating pad underneath his bed. It's sold for kitty beds, heated cat beds. And so he's got this little pad that I put under his bed. He's got a little round bed made of acrylic fake fur, like the really short nap stuff, like a velvet. It's padded, and it sits on the corner of my mattress next to my pillow, and underneath it is this little heating pad. And then he's got a knitted blanket on top and an alpaca fur teddy bear that he could snuggle into. And well, when I woke up, he wasn't getting the benefit of the heat. His position was wrong or something, I'm not sure, but he was curled in this tight little ball, and he was whining when I told him it was time to get up, and he kept snuggling a little tighter in. So I wrapped him up in his blanket, and I went and I got up, and I left him there for a little while. I left the lights on, and I tried for a while. I petted him, and he just kept doing this. It's cold. And of course, it was 20 below last night when he went out. So he's like, it's not only cold, but I know it's cold outside. So I came up later and I preheated his snowsuit. And I put his snowsuit on, and he was just like, oh, you understand. You're not making me get up in the cold. You're getting me warm right away. He's just been keeping warm all day, and it's not even that cold out. It's only -12 now. He's such a little cute little thing. He hates to be cold. Meanwhile, the husky's like, oh man, snow, I'm gonna roll in it. And she goes out there, and one of these days I've got to get footage. It's so damn cute. She gets out there in the snow, and the first thing she does is stick her face in it. And then the next thing you know, she flops over and she's rolling with her legs in the air, just like, oh, that feels so good. What a contrast. This one here is like, oh, I need boots. It's too cold. And that one's like, oh, finally I can cool off a little. Northern dog. Hey, Piper. She's about to knock this tripod over, I think. I think that's what she has in mind. No, Piper. No, Piper. No, Piper. Today's daily vlog. So tonight I'm going to pop out and I'm going to actually use my car. And I actually canceled a doctor's appointment this week because I don't want to drive my car out. Well, actually, in that case, I don't want to deal with parking. I didn't like paying for parking all that much when it was coin operated. I found that really frustrating because I have to guess how long I'm going to be in wherever I'm going, and or watch the time constantly and run down to pay. So then they bring in these new machines where you plug one central meter for all of them, but you still have to guess how long you're going to be in there, and you don't get the money back. So then they had this thing where you had a parking card, and I liked that. You stick the card in when you leave, you stick the card in when you come back. As long as the card has enough money on it, you're covered. You've got your full two hours, whatever the limit is. You don't have to guess how long it's going to be, and you don't overpay. Well, they eliminated that program. Now they've got this app on your phone, which doesn't bother to warn you that your time's run up. The last time I tried to use, I was like, okay, fine, I can park at pay parking. It sucks to pay, but whatever, you know, everybody's got to pay parking. That wasn't the thing that bothered me. Thing is, I went in, I put on the thing, I went like, okay, I'm stopping into this store, it's going to take me 15 minutes. I'm going to grab this particular product that I want to buy, and I'm going to get out. And I go in the store and I grab the particular product that I want to buy, and I don't go out, because the next thing you know, that product has caught my eye and I want to ask the salesman about it, and this person wants to talk to me about, since the last time I was in, the stuff that I'd talked about. Hey, how's it going with this, and let me chat about that. And then there's a line up at the till because Dad wants to get roller skates for his kids and he wants to talk about it. Well, I think I was in there an hour. And my parking app didn't ding in my phone, so I had no idea, so I come out to a parking ticket. And you know, paying for the parking ticket, that's ugly enough, because guess what? You have to go downtown where there's no parking to pay for your parking ticket, where there's no free parking. So, you know, now I've got a legal ding on my driving record. In my mind, I'm like, oh, I've had a ticket. I've broken the law. That bothers me a lot. I really, you know, until my record was spotless for years, and these little things bother me. I'm like, but I'm home monitor perfect, and now I'm not anymore. Well, that's one part of it. The other part of it is now I have to go downtown. Okay, so I get out my bike and I go downtown. It's summertime. No big deal. Well, it's not summer anymore. It's winter, as I showed you in that last video. It's winter. The streets are thick with snow, and my winter bike is broken. It's unusable. So now I can't get downtown. So this doctor's appointment is downtown. I can't go to it. There's no way to get there. Not without dealing with this stressful parking thing that he's got a parking lot for his office, but do you think it's free? It's got one of these Imperial Park guys. Boy, they really like to ding you. They really like to ding you. No simple little $15, $6.50 if you pay in advance, or I think they jumped it up to $10.25. if you pay it within 2 weeks, you get a discount. No, 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 no. You're looking at $20 for a ding, and if you don't get it fast enough, $50. And you still have to figure out how to use the machine. I can't even understand how to use the machine. Dan's done it every time we've been there. And then I've had Dan to run down in the middle of the appointment to deal with it. So I canceled the appointment. But then the doctor called because it was something we were able to do over the phone anyway. And why don't we just do that stuff over the phone? Why do we have to go in if the doctor can tell you over the phone? You know, doesn't the medical system allow him to log that and get paid for that? They should. So, no downtown trips for me for the next little while. It's a little too far to walk. Well, some of it's not. Some of it is, as you saw. I walked to part of downtown, but the doctor's office is another 2 miles from that point. And I was exhausted after that, so my feet were sore. And I've got such a sore neck today. So tonight I'm going to do some grocery shopping. And then there's another thing. When I take my car out, I'm terrified someone's going to hit me. I showed it in that video the other day, last week, where someone nearly hit me. And it was like within 4 blocks of my house. It was just in my neighborhood where you shouldn't be driving fast in the first place. This is a residential neighborhood. None of these streets are main arterials. You're supposed to slow down. And, okay, I get it. The law only posts 50 kilometers an hour, so you don't have to slow down. But you don't do 50 kilometers an hour in 6-inch snow, screaming around the corner in narrow streets with parking on either side. But people do. And I can't go scold that person. He was grinning at me as he did it. He's like, I'm having so much fun creaming people's cars with my nasty old hoopty van. I get it. Your van's a hoopty. You don't care if it gets broken, but you're taking my ride out with you. And my ride's precious to me. I have never had such a nice car, and I will never have such a nice car again. That was a fluke, a moment in time when I got a decent car, and I can't replace it for what insurance will give me. I cannot have a decent car for what insurance thinks my car is worth. I will never again have a car with leather seats and air conditioning. Heated leather seats. Never again. And they don't give me enough money to cover that. Never again. So I'm like, I don't want to drive. I'm afraid someone will break my car. I'm not afraid of my own driving. I'm afraid of their driving. So tonight and tomorrow night, pray with me that my car makes it through this dangerous, dangerous slalom course that we call driving in winter in Saskatoon. Because I got to go get groceries tonight, and then tomorrow night I've got to stop in on a sick friend and bring sushi and cheer. I'm going to try and cheer up my friend. She's got arthritis, and all her joints are aching, and they're just, the pain is sending her off to bed. And she's managing to get out of bed to go to work because she needs money. But, yeah, she's giving up all of her elective options, like all of her elective activities. She's not having much fun. So, and it looks like my other friend who was going to come with me now has been called into work, and I'm going to have to go and do it alone. I'm no good with miserable people. I get bored real quick. They don't have much to say, and when they do, it's not much fun. And I can't come up with an endless stream of cheery things to say to them, and then if I do, then I'm not, then I'm like being too trivial with somebody who's hurting. I'm like, it's so stressful for me. So I was really hoping to have someone along to carry the conversation. And, well, I don't know. She's a pretty, this person I'm visiting, she's a pretty upbeat person, and she makes an effort to be cheerful, so it probably is just all in my head. I'm just stressed out. Work is slowed down, and money's tight, and my bike won't get fixed, and my irrigation's not working, and I'm having nightmares at night, so I guess I'm just worrying about everything a little more than usual, because there's all these little things to worry about, and so they all pile up, and then I worry twice as much. Oh, it's a good thing I don't have to worry about my audience leaving. I don't have one. That's not fair. There's 5 of you out there, and You're sweethearts. Actually, I think there's probably 3 of you out there, and you're sweethearts. And I know one of you, for sure. I know who one of you is. And I've actually been having subscribers, people subscribing to my channel, which is like, wait a minute, how do I have all these people subscribing but they're not watching me? And why are they subscribing? Is it they're hoping I'll subscribe back? Is it a marketing ploy? And maybe I should be employing some marketing techniques, except that I have ethical objections to marketing to such a degree that I dislike something simply because it's an attempt to market. So, yeah. I've got this theory that if you're rich, it automatically means you're a nasty person, because nice people can't get rich because they won't market, they don't keep their extra money, they don't play money against itself, and they're generous. And so you cannot both be wealthy and a good person. That's a general theory. And I know that there will be exceptions, but they say that the exception proves the rule. So, probably not going to get famous on YouTube. But my dog's cute. Bye. See you tomorrow.